welcome to Mic'd Up Magic with Austin and Katelyn. You are listening to episode 17, our September Walt Disney World trip recap and Q&A, where we will be sharing all about our recent trip to Walt Disney World and answering your questions. We hope you enjoy. It was a while, but we are back.
We are back.
It's been about a month since we have recorded a podcast.
Yes.
It might even be over.
I think it's been more than that.
Because
we've been back for a month. Or a month ago was our trip.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, anyways, if you are watching, you can actually see that we have a guest today in our podcast.
Hey guys.
We have Katelyn here, who, if you are new and you're oblivious, this is Austin's sister, my sister-in-law. And she obviously came with us on our trip. So we had to have her on this episode of the podcast to talk all about our trip and recap it. And we went on Instagram and asked you guys if you had any questions for us or specifically her for Disney. And most of you had questions for her. So we will have lots of questions answered today. Mm-hmm. And yeah.
That's
Yay.
it.
We're also hoping that the mic situation is sounding okay because we have a little bit of a makeshift mic situation because obviously we're not used to 3 people. We're only used to 2. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it sounds at least okay for you guys to listen to.
I'm using the headset mic, so mine might sound a little different, but
yeah,
You sound like a gamer.
Should be fine.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, first of all, I want to quickly say shout out to Brianna and Corey because they always do these trip recap and Q&A videos or podcast episodes. So totally took inspiration for them for this episode. So shout out to them, the Magic at Home podcast.
Congrats newlyweds.
Yes. Congrats newlyweds. Yeah. Now we can say Brianna and Corey Woodbine.
Yes.
Exciting. Other piece of housekeeping here. We will not be doing Disney news because this was going to be a long enough video as it is. So we won't be chatting Disney news. So we're going to jump right in. So this is the way that we're going to run this because obviously there's 3 of us. It's a little bit harder to have a cohesive flow. What we're going to do is it's kind of going to be the Katelyn show for a minute. And I'm just going to basically tell you guys day by day what we did. And then Katelyn and Austin can interject whenever they want to give their 2 cents. And then really we're just trying to get to the Q&A because that's like all the things you guys really want to know. So but we're going to just go through because if you listen to our last episode, we talked all about our plans. So this is basically just going to be going over those plans and then what changed because honestly, quite a bit changed from the original plan. So it's kind of fun to see what is going to be different from what we planned versus what actually happened.
I also don't know if anything was said in the last podcast that we didn't do because I didn't listen to it because I didn't want spoilers.
Oh, okay.
So if there was anything that I didn't know about, I have no idea that we didn't do.
I feel like
I think it was just all the reservations.
Yeah, I feel like you knew all of them that we had planned. Like that didn't happen.
Okay.
Awesome. All right, let's jump in. So, day 1. This was our travel day. So we left bright and early. We woke up around 2, and we got our butts in gear and we headed to Toronto Airport. We left Toronto. The flight there was really good. There was no hiccups or anything. There wasn't any delays on our flight, which was really nice.
Security was like so quick at the airport. It was crazy.
Yeah, security was nice.
Caitlin and I both had our iPads though, and the coloring book app wasn't working for both of us. So that was a loss.
And I thought I downloaded movies from Disney Plus and quite literally did not. So then I had to use Caitlin's iPad because she actually downloaded movies. So I watched a movie on her iPad and then she just listened to music.
And it took us on the way home to realize that we can put 2 headsets on the iPad. But anyway,
I forgot that. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So clear the throats. Okay. So we got into Orlando Airport. Then we went to, what did we do? We just went to like the store basically in the airport. That was like your first taste of a Disney store. Then we went to Mears. We did Mears. I have to say, obviously not sponsored. I reached out to Mears, but they didn't get back to me. But anyways, we love Mears. They're great. honestly, every single time we've gotten so lucky, I feel like, because it's like as soon as we board, they leave. It was like we got on the bus and then I think, what was it? Remember I was like trying to figure it out. I think
Yeah,
it was
like 5 minutes.
It was like 3 minutes later, the bus was moving. And I swear, normally that bus ride feels like it's like an hour long. And this one was like 30 minutes. Like it was so quick, it felt like, for some reason. And it was also really cool because we were like the only ones on the bus going to the Riviera at the end. So it was just like pretty cool having like the whole bus to ourselves. So that was fun. So the plans were originally, when we arrived to our hotel at the Riviera, we were going to hopefully drop our bags, go do some resort hopping, and then go to Disney Springs, have dinner, and then do some shopping. But what we ended up doing was, instead of doing resort hopping, we ended up checking into our hotel, unpacking everything, taking a minute, took some showers. We ended up canceling our reservation on day one, which was for the boathouse, because it was just a little bit earlier than the plans would have, like it would have been good for the plans. So we ended up canceling that one. And then we ended up just walking around Disney Springs, doing lots of shopping. We had Earl of Sandwich for dinner, which I won't really talk too much about because I only had a salad there.
You were struggling.
Oh yeah, that was, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what happened. I think it was the sleep deprivation that got to me, but all of a sudden I just felt like I was about to literally pass away. So I was like, I can't even think about eating anything other than like maybe leafy greens.
And at the same time, my friend was staying at their house to watch their dog and their cat. And she was having a lot of difficulties, like getting in the house with locks and doors. So Austin and I were FaceTiming her while Katelyn's like heaving outside.
Yeah, so it was a little bit chaotic, but we had Earl of Sandwich. Everybody liked it, right?
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I was looking forward to trying it because I had seen the like holiday sandwich there,
And that was
it ended up living up to the hype.
That was the second meal because we ate at the resort
Yes,
first.
we ate it. Yeah, we ate at the Riviera, and it was really good.
Yeah.
That Primo Piatto.
Yep.
We ended up, spoiler alert, we ended up eating there. Did we eat there 3 times? 4 times? I think it's
4. I think it was 4.
Well, we ate at the one that was beside it, but it was like kind of the same food.
Yeah. But we really liked the quick service at the Riviera.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. But yeah, we basically just walked around Disney Springs. We got all the shopping done that we wanted to get done. Literally got everything checked off the list, which was great. What was your experience? Just because I know ahead, like what questions were asked, but that was the only time we went to Disney Springs. What was your experience with Disney Springs? Like,
I don't want to spoil what I'm going to say later.
Okay, that's fine.
But it was definitely like a very nice first look into the magic. And I remember at the end of that day, I said to Austin, I can't believe this was in the vlog. That's why I remember.
Yeah.
I can't believe we haven't been into the park yet.
Yeah.
Because I had no idea what to expect at Disney Springs.
Yeah. Nice. Cool. Okay. Day 2, Katelyn's birthday. So this was Katelyn's 25th birthday. This was the whole reason for the trip, really, was for her birthday. So we had to celebrate in Magic Kingdom. So we did end up purchasing multi-pass for this day, and I feel like I can say for all of us that we loved it. I think, unfortunately, I wish I could say I hated it because I hate that Disney does all these like pay to play aspects of the parks. However, it was worth it. It was really fun. It was nice that we didn't really feel like we had to go get in lines for rides. Like we kind of just like put them on the app and we were good to go. Only thing I would say is that like we booked our first one for like 10:45 or 11-ish because we had a dining reservation at 10. And I just wish that we didn't have the dining reservation so that we could have booked them earlier, so that we could have been lining up more after we started checking in. That would be my only thing.
Yep.
I wouldn't say that though, because the breakfast was like a highlight.
I wouldn't get rid of the breakfast. I think if somebody listening is thinking like, oh, should I do multi-pass? I would just say like have your breakfast reservation really early and then line up your multi-passes earlier.
Yeah.
It was really good though. No, I loved the breakfast. So we ended up rope dropping this day. We rope dropped Tron, which wasn't originally on the plan because they really announced like 2 days before or like a week before or something that you couldn't get a virtual queue for Tron anymore. So we had to rope drop it. And once we were in line to rope drop it, they said this ride doesn't open for extra magic hours. Like you can't get on the ride at 8:30. You're getting on the ride at 9 when the whole park opens. So we were kind of like, dang, because we already not wasted time, but we took time to go over to get into the line. So we were like, there's no sense in leaving the line, so we'll just stay in the line. So that's one thing to keep in mind if you're going for the extra morning hours. If you're rope dropping Tron is the only thing you will get done in the morning, which is fine. It's worth it in my opinion, because again, the line was super quick once it was moving, and it was really fun.
Yeah, no, as a first ride, it was really exciting.
Yeah, true. That's your first ever ride at Disney World.
Yeah.
Nice. And then we did a bunch of Tomorrowland attractions, and then we headed over for breakfast. So we did breakfast at Crystal Palace with Winnie the Pooh and friends. You can talk about it because this was like your birthday.
Yeah,
meal.
It was like probably what I was looking forward to the most, because when I went to Disneyland Paris, I like avoided interacting with them because I knew we were going to be doing this for my birthday, and it was exactly what I wanted. It was so special and so cute, and I feel like we were like at a good spot to be able to like eat and not worry about like the time that they were going to go by us, because we were kind of at the end.
Like where we were sitting in the
sitting
in the restaurant.
The food was good. It was like the only buffet that we did.
Yep. Yeah, only buffet that we did.
And it was really good. The eggs. A highlight was the eggs.
The eggs were good. The churro waffles were insane. They need to have the churro waffles somewhere else where I can get them, where I don't have to do a whole buffet character meal to get them, because they were so good.
Also, just because it was my birthday, like it felt special, but they brought me a cupcake, and yeah, it was so cute.
Yeah, no, that's like a magical moment for them for sure, because they don't always have to bring stuff like that out. So yeah, that was nice of our server to do that. It was really good. So then right after Crystal Palace, we had our virtual queue called for Tiana's, because Austin was able to get us a virtual queue. I think they called them late though, because we were group 4 on this day, and the only reason I remember is because I was editing the vlogs. We were group 4 on this day, and we didn't get called until like 10 when we were like going in for our breakfast reservation. So I have a feeling it was down a bit. So anyways, just like a side note. But anyways, Tiana's opinions, everybody can go through theirs. I'll start with mine. I loved it. I will say I loved it when we rode it, and then after we didn't ride it, I was kind of like really comparing it to Splash Mountain, because if you don't know, Splash Mountain, the original version, is my favorite ride at Disney. So I was really being harsh with it. Like I was like, I really want to put it to the test. And the one room that makes this ride just make me question if it's my favorite or not still is my favorite part of Tiana's was like the laughing place, like where you kind of go through like the up and down
the Splash Mountain.
In Splash Mountain, sorry, yeah. Where you go through the up and down, and then you go in, and then it's like the laughing place, and then the water's jumping, and like it's just a fun room. I don't know why, but that always has been my favorite room. And when we came into the room on this ride, a little bit of a spoiler warning here, the room is basically just like a bunch of mushrooms, and I was just kind of like, oh. But when I rewatched the footage when I was editing it, again, a little bit of a spoiler here, there's like a screen with Tiana and I think is it Lewis who it's on like the screen, I think. Anyways, like that's kind of a fun aspect, and I kind of forgot that was in the same room. But anyways, I really liked it. I really loved it. I feel like we only rode it on one day of our trip, twice, but only one day of the trip. And I really want to ride it again to like solidify that I do love it as much as I love Splash, because I think I do.
No, I loved it. Thought it was great. Like, I think the highlight for me was probably the finale.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that room is just insane. Like, that was, it was cool in the old Splash Mountain with, like, the boat and all the characters and everything, but, like, they really went, like, all out in this one, and, like, it come around the corner, and you just, like, see all of this. It's crazy. And
we got really lucky because every animatronic worked.
Yeah.
A lot of people were saying...
Everywhere.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying when we were going up that, like, Tiana's, like, a lot of the animatronics kind of weren't working and they would just be down. But we got lucky both times we rode it. There wasn't a hitch.
I had nothing to compare it to.
Yeah. Sorry.
The only thing I knew was that we were going to get wet. Like, I knew it was like a drop. That's all I knew. And I was trying to kind of get like spoilers when we were walking like into the line, like onto it. The theming of the line, that was like the
cute.
first ride that was like very, very themed in line for me. That was like, because we only really did Tron before that.
Yeah.
And I don't know anything about Tron.
But even in like Disneyland Paris, they don't really have like
Oh no, I'm talking about Disney World.
Oh, okay, fair.
Yeah,
fair.
yeah. No, I'm talking about like this trip specifically.
Yes.
The line itself is like phenomenal. Like even if it was just a walkthrough, like it'd be so cute.
Yeah.
No, the ride was super, super fun. I feel like Princess and the Frog is like a really magical Disney movie, and yeah, I'll talk more about it later.
Okay, cool. All right, yeah, nice. Yeah, we all really liked it. Okay, yeah, but basically we just used multipass for the full day. We ended up, do you remember how many rides we did with the multipass? I want to say 11. Like, I don't know why, but I want to say 11.
I don't think it was that many.
That feels like a lot.
Oh, okay.
Maybe 7?
But what?
Surely more than that.
What's the roller coaster beside Tiana's?
Big Thunder.
I loved Big Thunder.
You loved Big Thunder.
You guys will see the footage. Like, I am probably
funny.
cackling on the ride.
It's good.
I miss that experience.
Nice.
Riding that for the first time.
Yeah, no, it was good. We basically did multipass the rest of the time, and then we went back to the resort for a quick little break. And then we headed back into Magic Kingdom. We planned on camping for fireworks. We were like, okay, we're gonna get Casey's, sit down in our spot and just like wait an hour and a half for fireworks. But because we had multipass, we were like, we want to use it the most that we can, so we're like, let's not, we'll get Casey's still for dinner, which we did, and it was good. It's hot dogs, man. It's good.
Yep.
I will say I was really excited to get a veggie chili dog, because I had multiple when I was in Paris, because there is a Casey's on like Main Street in Paris. There was no vegetarian chili, and I was really disappointed, but the veggie dog was still good, and I did end up getting my chili another day. But that was like a little bit of a sad moment, but also all I wanted the whole, like when we were leading up to the trip, was to go to Casey's on my birthday, so it was perfect.
But yeah, so we had Casey's, we did a few more rides, and then we ended up getting to fireworks, I feel like 20 minutes before they started. Like it was close to when it started. We like shimmied our way in, and we honestly got a pretty good spot. I feel like regardless, you can get a good spot even if you don't camp. The reason that we camp the reason that we wait for fireworks and we like get a good spot for it is because we like to lean on a railing when you stand up. So that's why we normally wait. So we didn't get the opportunity to lean on a railing to watch the fireworks, but we were able to do way more rides. So it was worth it.
Yep.
But yeah, so we watched Happily Ever After. Thoughts on that?
Stunning. I'm truly not really like a firework person. They're kind of loud and they kind of scare me. But they were obviously beautiful, and that was like a very key, like, I'm at Disney World because we're watching the fireworks. What was the duo that made me cry?
Oh,
the back-to-back songs. I mean, no spoiler, but spoiler.
It was You'll Be in My Heart.
You'll Be in My Heart, and then I See the Light.
Yeah, that's
back
exactly what it is.
That got me.
Yeah, that gets everybody.
But
that
I mean, those are
worst.
like two of my favorite Disney songs anyway. So
yeah. So yeah, we watched fireworks, and then we did a couple rides until the end of the night. We boogied out of the fireworks crowd. We did a couple rides, and then we headed out, and that concluded your birthday.
This is gonna be so long.
I know. that's why I'm like, I'm gonna try and like just zoom through them. Okay, so moving on. Day 3. This day was our Animal Kingdom day. This was a rope drop day. And I will say, okay, this is my opinion. Ready? This is also a safe space for everybody to share how they feel, okay?
I was waiting for this one.
No. I'm validating you. So Animal Kingdom, I feel like for you, got a very poor start because we all woke up late this day. We ran out of the room, so nobody got to get a snack for breakfast quickly.
Forgot my protein bar.
Somebody forgot their protein bar and didn't put it in their bag. We got down to the bus, and the bus sign had said that the next bus was coming in 20 minutes, and we were like, no, it should be coming like right now, but the sign said 20 minutes. So somebody ran back up to the room, and I said,
I didn't have sunscreen on.
I said, if the bus comes and you're upstairs. Jokingly, I was like, if it comes and you're upstairs, and we were like, ha ha ha. Anyways, Katelyn ran upstairs to go get her sunscreen, and quite literally the bus pulled up. I was like, no. So it's fine. So we missed the first bus. So then we were a little bit late.
But
I'm using air quotes here for late.
Yeah, you said we got to basically like the same spot you wanted to be in anyway, which thank God, because I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, no, we definitely did. But it was just like quote unquote later than what we planned and what we would have wanted. And then because of that, like all like, you know, everything that transpired, we were like just like 10 minutes behind schedule of like what we were like trying to get done. And then we ended up, long story short, sorry, we did Flight of Passage, Nabi River Journey, and then I said, okay, all we're doing is the safari and then we'll get breakfast. Literally got in line for the safari. I think we were in the safari line for an hour, and then I think we were on that safari for an hour.
And I don't remember waiting for Flight of Passage.
No,
like,
it was quick.
It was so quick. We were moving the whole time. I don't function well when I'm hungry. The line for the safari was fine, and then we're on it. And love the animals. Love the animals. They kept stopping our journey.
Yeah.
And I thought I was going to pass out on that car.
No,
it was like the longest safari of all time.
No, it was insane. It was like, and then in my head the whole time, I'm like, okay, we just got to get off here and we just have to go get our breakfast, because I'm like, I knew that she was upset, and like, not upset, but like, I knew you were at that point, because I was also almost at that point. So I was like, oh my gosh, I know she's going to be at that point. So I'm just like, just get to the thing. And it just felt like everything was just like, and we're waiting again, and there is an ostrich in our path again, and I'm like, for the love of God, get us off this safari. So then as soon as we went and got our breakfast at Yakinity Quick Service, shout out, because they saved the lives of us, because it really is a simple breakfast, but man, oh man, did it save us. At that point we were smooth sailing. Yeah.
I will say we also got our first Joffrey's that morning too.
Yeah.
I got 2 drinks because I was living on a high. Once we sat down with that food and that coffee, I was ready to go.
Yeah.
But that morning felt like days.
And truly, it was from 7 till 10. Like, it was
from
7 o'clock till 10 o'clock. But I agree with you. It felt so long, because I was just in my head like, oh God, this is not good.
But, and again, like, I think that all would have been cut an hour shorter if we wouldn't have missed that first bus. Like, it would have just like ran so much smoother.
And guys, it said 20 minutes.
No, 100%.
What's up with that, Riviera?
No, 100%. The sign literally said in 20 minutes, but I think it was because the next bus probably had already like checked in, because I bet you they were like pulling into the Riviera. So they like checked in, and then Katelyn left, and then literally the bus. Like, I think you were probably not even in the elevator.
I think I was in the room actually. Like, and I was coming back, but I was just like,
yeah,
damn.
So it's like, dang. But anyways, it was
Rats.
It was just too bad, because it's like, Animal Kingdom is my favorite park, and I already knew you weren't gonna like it to the extent of like the other ones. But I was like, man, we just really set it up for failure.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
No, it's for sure. Yeah. I know that's what happened. So anyways, after we had our breakfast, we went over to Dinoland, and Dinoland was fun. Right? Because we did Dinosaur, and then we did Dinoland. We were like, okay, Operation Win Katelyn a Stuffy. We wanted to win her a Dino Stuffy.
That's probably really good footage too. You guys
it was
love
fun.
That.
It was fun. So we did Dinoland. Austin ended up going over to get a Rum Blossom, because he really wanted that. And we were like, we're not walking back all over the Pandora. So he went and did that. Caitlin and I ended up doing the photo booth, which was a hoot and a holler.
It was.
It was so fun. It was so hot in that photo booth. When Brandon says it's the hottest place in the world, he is not kidding. But we had to do it. We also waited probably 20 minutes for that stupid photo to print out.
I think it was longer than 20 minutes. Like, it was worth it.
And I'm going to say, shout out to the jerk that was behind us in line. I was very polite about it in the vlog when I talked about this, but I'm going to call him out on the podcast.
Oh, because you've edited. How far have you gotten?
I'm on day 4 right now.
Okay.
I'm on your guys' day. I'm just about to start it.
Oh, have fun with that.
But yeah, the guy behind us, he basically was just like, your photo's not going to print out. You might as well just leave. Because we were standing waiting outside for this photo.
And they were waiting to go in next.
And we said, just go in. Like, it already said, okay, you guys can step out. And it was ready for the next people to start. So they could have just went and taken their pictures. So anyways, I was just like,
but
well,
also, if you don't think our pictures are coming, why are you going to get your picture done?
yeah, exactly.
Like, the guy was just grumpy.
So he was just rude, and we were just like, well, we're gonna wait because we just paid $7, so we're gonna get our photos. And then like he basically was just like, they're not coming. And then like 2 seconds later they spit out, and I was like, oh well, I guess I just take a long time. And then we left because I'm like, you were just being rude. And Katelyn and I said this as we were leaving. I said, regardless of if I would have thought that to somebody else, I wouldn't have said it.
No. And we luckily got 3 photo strips.
Yeah.
So Austin has one. I was kind of thinking it was going to be on display in here, but I don't
behind you,
see
Katelyn.
it. Is that his or yours?
Well, I ended up taking both because one's gonna go in my journal and
Oh.
one's gonna go on the
Okay, well, I'm in here either way.
But yeah, so anyways, the photo booth was really fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then what was after that? So then we left Animal Kingdom, went to the hotel for a couple hours, had a much needed relax nonverbal time, as Katelyn called it many times during the trip. And then we headed into, we went to Epcot. So what happened was we were hoping to just get the second virtual queue on this day. However, because I had to like leave for part of the day, we just wanted to like secure that we had it. So we ended up buying the individual lightning lane for this day. We just bought it later in the day. So we bought it for later in the day. So basically we went to Epcot. We ended up doing Figment all together. And then I had to leave to go to the pin event, to sign in for the pin event. And then you guys?
Austin took me to Living with the Land first. Or did we eat first?
No.
I think we went on the ride first.
Yeah, I'm not sure which way we did it, but we did Living with the Land, and we got macatizers. So I had I think it was like pulled pork mac and cheese or something. It was really good.
Oh, this was where I got my first bit of veggie chili. It was like
on the mac and cheese.
It was on the mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was so good.
Yeah, and then I think we did Spaceship Earth.
Oh,
Nemo.
my God.
Yeah, you
Spaceship
did.
Earth.
Yeah, so after they had their little time together, then I ended up meeting back up and we did Guardians. We got very lucky because I basically sprinted through Epcot to get to the front of Epcot.
Oh, yeah,
to
you did.
meet up at Guardians. And the Guardians line was so long for Lightning Lane because I guess at some point during the day it had shut down. So we ended up waiting probably like over an hour for Guardians because by the time we were out, the park was closed.
It's so funny. I don't even remember waiting. Like, I remember being like meeting with you in the line outside, but it's so nice that I don't remember like any kind of like agonizing line times.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because the line was like all the way over to like test track area.
And the people behind us were like, they need to open a second line. And I'm just like, what would a second line do? We'd be waiting like
longer. What? Yeah. Yeah, so it was a long line because by the time we got out, Epcot was closed and we were kind of like, well, dang, because we thought we were going to be able to do at least something else. But when we left, like the fireworks were going off. So anyway, so we kind of boogied our way out of Epcot and then that was the day.
We tried to run to Frozen.
You're right. We did. We tried to go to Frozen. Frozen I think it had said like 10 minutes or something on the app, and then by the time we got there it said like 45 and we were like, okay, we're not waiting,
can't miss this.
So then we ended up walking all the way back out. So yeah, that's what happened. And then we had dinner at Primo Piazza that night because we were like, that's why we left, because we didn't want to miss it because it closed early at like 10 or something. So we did that, and then we did a bunch of pin unboxings. Because you opened your Fruit and Wine Festival one that day, and then we opened a bunch of the pins from the pin event in the room.
It's crazy how this is jogging my memory.
Right?
It must be nice to watch the vlogs.
It is. Once we get to like the later days, I have no clue what happened. Like, it's just very rough. Right now it's fresh because I'm like, oh, I just edited this.
Yeah. I know, I'm like, her memory, damn.
Yeah, no. I do have a good memory, but it's, definitely helped right now. Okay, so this is day 4, technically. This is the day of the pin event. So if you missed it, this was the one thing on the podcast that we didn't talk about. This was the thing that I was like, I have a super secret thing that I'm doing on this like random day, and it was a pin event. So if you missed that vlog, I have everything up on the channel of that experience, so go check that out. I won't talk about it too much here because it's a different kind of thing, but it was really fun and I really enjoyed it. But I was gone the whole day, so Katelyn and Austin basically had a whole day to themselves. Yes.
Did you say if you would do the pin event again, or would you do it differently?
No, I said I would do it again. I said I wouldn't plan a trip just for the pin event.
Right.
But
Okay.
if we were there, I would definitely try and get a ticket again.
And you would go.
I would.
Yeah,
I would
I would
hope.
go.
I would hope Austin
Yeah.
would come because
Yeah.
it'd be a lot more fun.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
even just like waiting with someone. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but yeah. So you guys can take this one away. And again, just
Do you have notes about what
Well,
we
I
did?
wrote. Yeah, like. This girl's got the iPad in front of it and wants me to do it from memory.
okay.
Alrighty. Where are we into? Okay.
And
so,
this was first Hollywood Studios. Yeah.
yeah, so
And
this was
all
the first Hollywood Studios, and we
Oh,
were there
yeah.
all day, yes.
First full one park all day.
So,
Except for
Magic
Magic Kingdom.
Kingdom.
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true.
so we did rope drop Hollywood Studios. We took the Skyliner and got Joffrey's and a cronut.
First cronut.
Mm-hmm. Cronut, 10 out of 10. No complaints about the cronut. What?
11 out of 10.
I'm just laughing at her. And we got a
Yeah. So anyway, so then we rope dropped Hollywood Studios, went to Toy Story Land. We did all 3 attractions in Toy Story Land. And we got Woodies. So thoughts on Toy Story Land?
My thoughts on Toy Story Land is something that I have saved for some of the questions,
Okay.
but stunning, something that's not in my notes for the questions, is my Woody shoulder plush coming on to Slinky Dog.
Yep.
Completely not on purpose. I can't wait to watch that in the vlog when Austin and I realized, because I think I was recording when we realized that I had him on. Can't believe he stayed on. Honestly, shout out to the shoulder pets.
Yeah.
They stay on tight.
Survived. Like, he says, "Hang on." And Woody was just. So anyways, we did all that, and then we headed back
Well,
towards.
can I just say though, you guys had Woody's lunchbox, and this is why I can't leave Austin alone in a park by himself, because they didn't even try the lunchbox tart. This is-
I saw.
This is the thing that Austin just like, he loves a lunchbox tart. He calls Brianna out because she hates the lunchbox tart. And what do?
Well,
I don't know what it
miss
is.
getting the lunchbox tart at
We
Woody's
got-
lunchbox.
we got full breakfasts and a drink.
I always, whenever I'm ordering, I always add in a lunchbox tart.
Can you tell me what it is?
It's just like a Pop-Tart.
Oh,
It's like a handmade Pop Tart.
I wanted like a savory breakfast.
Yeah, see, we
No,
we
it's
didn't
fair.
want one.
It's always just
You weren't even there.
okay. Well, I'm just saying.
Get out of here.
I'm just saying.
It wasn't your day.
So anyways, then we made our way back towards the front of the park because we were avoiding Galaxy's Edge at this point, which we will get into a little bit later. But we met Chip and Dale outside of Mickey and Minnie's. It was like kind of in that like courtyard just before Mickey and Minnie's. So that was fun.
Yeah, that was cute.
And then we did Mickey and Minnie's.
And nothing could stop us now. I was really excited for that because like a week before the trip, I started to get the sound like on my Instagram reels all the time. And so the sound, like the song was stuck in my head, but I had no idea what it was or why.
Yeah, she would keep singing it, and Afsa and I just kept saying she has no clue what she's even in for. Like she's just gonna love it.
Yeah, I think we did it like not that day, but across the trip like 4 times.
I think so.
Something like that.
We
Yeah,
did
did
a
a lot.
That's a
lot.
fun one. That's a really sweet one.
But yeah, so we did that, and then we did Star Tours and the Frozen sing-along.
I hate Star Tours.
Star Tours was not a top attraction.
Also,
I
wasn't
like the-
Star Tours where you lost the alien?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you can watch that in the vlog. Obviously the theming of Star Tours is great for Star Wars ride of this park, but it makes me nauseous. It makes me violently ill. And I wrote there's the same thing in Disneyland Paris, and I got the same sequence, which
Yeah,
made
that's
me super
annoying.
nauseous.
Yeah.
So that was like just kind of meh.
Yeah, that's annoying.
But yeah, so then we did Frozen sing-along, and then we went back and had our like midday break.
Nice.
So then we changed, went back into Hollywood Studios, and we went into Galaxy's Edge because it was lightsaber building time.
I was literally gonna say those exact words. It was lightsaber building time.
Yes. So we went to Docking Bay 7 and had Ronto wraps.
One of my favorite
Well,
meals.
Did you have?
No, mine was whatever vegan option they have. It was like a
It's
pita
like a
with
grilled-
falafel.
And is it like a grilled zucchini?
It was really similar to what I had at Primo Piatto,
Oh.
but I will say it was better.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I think also because the hummus and like the tzatziki were pink and purple.
And then we also had like a really cool character interaction. Right outside Docking Bay 7, right where the entrance is, there's like a magic zoom shot they do from PhotoPass, and we were waiting in that line, and then there's like a ramp that goes down from the Millennium Falcon like up, and Val, Chewie, and Rey all came right in front of us, and like Chewie was like right up all in our faces and stuff. It was funny.
I will get more in depth about that later because I know that's going to be one of my answers for a question, I'm sure. But that was a crazy moment. I was like, wow, I'm literally in Galaxy's Edge.
I'm literally speaking to Chewbacca.
And I've never been more starstruck in my life.
They were sending me pictures all day, like while I was at the pin event, and like there was just one. I think you guys sent me the video of Chewie coming up to them.
Yeah.
And all I kept thinking was like, oh my God, Katelyn, just hug him or say something or whatever, because she literally was like this. And if you're listening, I'm standing here with my mouth open and my eyes wide.
Yeah, I
was
like
like that.
literally starstruck. Like I was speechless, and I'm not often rendered speechless.
Crazy.
Yes. And then we did Smugglers. So
Nausea
it was
inducing.
only pilots, and then we were gunners. There was no engineers, or I think that's what it was.
We were the engineers.
Or was there no gunners then?
That's weird.
No, someone
wasn't a
spit
full
on
boat.
me in line.
Oh,
Someone- And then they got in front of us, and they were the pilots.
Yeah.
So
It was
that was a little
it
disappointing.
was fine.
But my mood couldn't have been dropped because we were about to do my lightsaber.
And Hondo wasn't even working. It was like the screen, which sucked in the pre-show. So like it was just kind of a,
It was a time filler leading up to
Yeah.
the lightsaber, literally.
Because then we didn't have that much time. So we went and did Muppets. Because I think there was like no wait, and we needed like to kill 45 minutes or something like that, and everything else was too busy. So we did Muppets, and then we went back to do the lightsaber.
Muppets was fun. I didn't think I would care about it, but I had a good time.
Muppets is
And-
fun.
Fun
It's
show.
cute.
Yeah. The lightsaber. The lightsaber, that thing is on in my apartment daily. Anytime someone comes over, I'm like, do you want to see my lightsaber? And then I'm like, no, swing it around. It's heavier than you think. My neighbors from the apartment building across can totally see me just whipping that thing
They're
around.
like, what is that girl doing in there?
Yeah.
That's so fun.
That's like one of my highlights, so I can talk about it after. I'll just ramble on.
For sure.
And then we met up.
Yeah.
Yeah, in line.
Yeah,
for
and
Rise.
that was my one request that I didn't think they were going to be able to fulfill for me, and I said, please don't ride Rise without me, and they didn't. They waited for me, so we ended up riding Rise when I got back. Sorry.
We were in line for a while just because it shut down while we were in line, but the park was going to close, and we were hopeful that it was going to be back running.
And then actually before we got on Rise, so basically when I left the pin event, I had been there for 9 hours. I don't know, something crazy. I was exhausted. My feet were tired, more tired than they've ever been in their entire life. But right when I got to the park, I was like, I need to eat. So I went to ABC Commissary. I had the buffalo chicken grilled cheese, which, oh my gosh, it's good every time. So I had that. We met there, and then we walked over to
What
Rise.
did I go get to eat? Because I went and got something else.
That was a different day.
Oh,
yeah, it was
right,
a different
totally.
day. But yeah, because you guys had whatever you had for dinner, your Ronto wraps or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we had that at like 4 or something, I think. It
Yeah.
was like a weird time.
Yeah, and then I got to the park at like 6:30, so that's why I'm like, I need to eat because I haven't eaten a single thing all day. It was crazy. But yeah, so then we rode Rise. It was really fun. Like Katelyn said, we waited a really long time. We were planning on actually watching Phantasmic this night, but there was like some storm clouds looming, and we were like, you know what? Let's just do Rise. Let's just wait in the line. It said 60 minutes, and we were like, oh, it's gonna be long, but whatever. We'll just wait. And thank God we did, because when we got out of like the Ray pre-show room, it was pouring.
Yeah, it was
and we were
pouring.
like, thank God we didn't go watch Phantasmic, because it probably either would have been canceled or we would have been miserable.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's vlog footage of this, but I got scared by the employees or by the cast members at Rise.
Oh yeah.
Did you film that?
I don't think I was filming at that point.
It was when we were like getting loaded onto the ride, and the cast members, I don't want to spoil the ride
It's
but
been out for
it's
so
fine.
long.
because I'm
You're
like,
fine.
I have no
Yeah, you're
idea,
good.
but they were obviously like mean because they
Well, no, this is what happened. They're just the Imperial people. And they basically looked at Katelyn and they said, how many? And she literally just didn't speak to him. And he goes, cool, how many? Like, you need to let me know how many I'm loading you for.
I was just like so overwhelmed and so immersed. Like, I thought it was a part of the bit. Like, don't tell them where we are. And I was like, they're like, how many? I'm like, I'm not going to tell them how many. Like, I'm not going to screw this up.
So yeah, but it was funny.
Kylo Ren's so hot.
Yeah, it was good. It was fun. And then, so yeah, we did that. We ended up going after that. So this is what happened actually, was that I originally had an Oga's reservation for later in the trip, but we were like, there's still time kind of here in the day. Why don't it's raining. We're kind of already doing like the Star Wars thing today. Let's see if there's an Oga's reservation, if we can just jump in. And there was. So we ended up getting an Oga's reservation for basically like right before it closed. So we did that. That was really fun. Did you like it?
I loved it. I did think that there was going to be like aliens walking around, so that was a little bit, I was just like, aw, but I loved it. And the little bites were so good. The little snacky they have, because I don't drink.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think we both each got non-alcoholic beverages, and then Austin got 2 different alcoholic beverages, but they were really good. And honestly, for me, like, that was probably one of my best times in Oga's Cantina, because it was really fun, because we actually got a booth to sit down in, which is kind of rare if you can get an actual seat there. And then we also were sitting, it was just a crazy experience, because it was like there was like people from Philadelphia were around us, and there was like people at the bar, people at this table, and then people sitting with us. All of them were from the same place. And then they all started doing the like chant, I guess, for like their football team. And then the one people at our table were like, oh, we're so sorry. Because we were like getting up to leave. And they were like, oh, we're so sorry. And I said, no, don't worry. Go Birds. And then they were like,
and there was a baby dressed like Grogu.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. The baby was passed out. It was like 11 o'clock at night. This baby is just totally passed out. They're screaming.
They're doing this chant. He's throwing the baby in the air. The baby wakes up and is just vibing.
It was crazy. I think it's all on vlog footage. That's so funny. You will see it.
It was crazy.
It was fun. It was a really like funny end to the night.
Yeah. And then it was so funny because Katelyn is like a garbage collector, because she collects things for her
like
junk.
A raccoon.
Yeah, for her junk journal. But anyways, she goes to like take one of the coasters that was supposed to be like for our actual drinks. And I said, just wait, like they'll bring you some, because I ended up buying the one of the collectible cups. Anyways, so then when she gave me the bag and I like opened the bag, there was like a plethora of these coasters, and I just remember like Caitlin's face was just like, oh my gosh, there's so many coasters.
Oh yeah, I haven't put everything in my journal yet, but it's gonna be thick.
Yeah, mine too. But yeah, so anyway, so we finished Oga's and then we headed out, which was pretty cool because it was a pretty empty Hollywood Studios, like leave from Hollywood Studios. And then we ended up ordering. Did you just order literally from like a random pizza place for pizza?
It was Domino's.
No, it was Domino's.
But that's what I mean. Sorry, it's just like you didn't order from the resort. You ordered like,
because everything was closed.
Is there
it was too late?
Is the Domino's like on property?
No.
It's like close.
Yeah, but it's not on Disney property. No. But yeah, so they ordered pizza and then they had pizza. I was already sleeping by that point, I think. Because I don't remember. Because I didn't even close out the vlog with you guys that day. You guys closed it out.
This isn't important, but I thought the pizza was a little weird. It just wasn't Canadian Domino's. Like, there was just like something that was slightly different. And I was like, what's up with this Domino's? Anyway, you can cut that out.
Oh my God. Okay, moving on to day 5. So I'm going to try and just fly through these because we're only not even halfway through. Okay, so today was our half rest day. So we planned on doing basically no park in the morning because we had the Halloween party for this evening. So we each kind of went our separate ways today, but what we did first was we slept in a little bit and then we went for breakfast at Topolino's Terrace. I can easily say this is, I think, my favorite character experience on Disney property. Like for character meal experience on Disney property. It was so good. The food was so good. The character interaction was so good. I love that restaurant. The tables are like nicely spaced out where you don't feel like you're like on top of each other. The characters came around twice. Like, it was a really, really, really good experience. I loved Topolino's Terrace in general, just like the views. We got really lucky and we got seated by a window. So like we got to like look out the window the whole time. It was just a beautiful, beautiful breakfast. The food was so good. We actually got drinks too. like as well, like with our breakfast. It was so good. So good.
I'm excited
Everybody
to
else
do
concurs.
dinner there.
Yeah, me too. I'm really excited to have dinner there too. But yeah, so it was really good. And then we each did our own little things. So after this, I ended up going down to the quiet pool, which I will say I loved the quiet pool. I didn't even step foot in the regular pool because I loved the quiet pool so much. So I did the quiet pool. What did you do?
I had a nap and crocheted in the room,
Nice.
and I needed that.
Yeah.
And then I went on an adventure to the pro shop at one of the golf courses. I was just looking for another hat, one of my cool hats, but they didn't have any, and I didn't even end up getting anything. But it was just like a little solo pro shop / Disney Springs adventure, and I got Gideon's.
Yeah,
I
you
have
guys
a
say you
bone-
went to Disney Springs, and then you got Gideon's, and then you kind of wandered Disney Springs.
Well, I did the pro shop, and then I went to Disney Springs. And then that's when I got Gideon's. The line was pretty long, but it was kind of like the only time I knew that we would even, or one of us would be there.
Yeah.
Um,
This is gonna pull up some trauma.
I have a bone to pick with this because
She never got to try it.
I didn't know about the coffee, and your coffee looked like
Oh,
the
yeah.
best.
You
like
tried the coffee the next
I would
day.
have wanted that.
Yeah.
the peanut butter cold
And
brew.
yeah, I was awoken from my slumber to be asked what kind of cookie I wanted, and I said peanut butter, and then for some reason Mom wouldn't let us eat the cookies on the trip. She said no, they're for home.
It's true.
She said no, they're for home.
That's
And then so
exactly what happened.
I get home and I say to my roommate, I never even got to eat my cookie because I don't live with them. So did you guys eat them all already?
Oh, yeah.
Did you already have the peanut butter one? All of it?
The peanut butter one's gone.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
so-
There is cookies left though.
so-
We'll have some.
If I could change something,
Well, that's a question later. That's a
but
question
Mom would have let me eat my cookie on the trip.
Well, I'm not your mom, so
Well, you were acting like it when you said we couldn't have our cookies, because even Austin was like, why can't we eat them? And she was just like, no, we have to save them.
well, I was just like, we're gonna have other treats here. Like, why would we have them now?
Because
We'll
I
have them
picked it out and I
later.
was like, this is my cookie.
Yeah,
and then
no.
for some reason it wasn't. Okay, so yeah, the funny thing is I'm not even really like a cookie person. Like I like only a specific kinds of cookies, like a hard cookie. I don't really like a soft cookie, but it looked really good and I picked it out, and it was just the principle of it all.
Yeah, well, I will admit, like, that was kind of stupid of me. So
I forgive you.
I don't know. I don't know what happened. I was just very like,
I feel like it was you just wanting to like savor the trip when you got home.
I think it was because that's normally what
Yeah.
we do.
Mhm.
And I just always think like I don't want to eat the things that we can eat at home when there's other things to eat at the parks, because it's like I'm like, don't fill up on a cookie, like we're about to go get a Dole Whip or whatever, right? I know
Yeah.
the premise.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we'll bring you a cookie back next time. Okay, yeah, so anyway, so that's what we did, and then we ended up having Bar Riva for dinner, which was good. It wasn't anything like spectacular, but it was good. I will say though, your burrata salad was insane.
Oh, I was like, what the hell is that? Yeah, my burrata salad was
Yeah.
amazing. And I got like some yummy lemonade situation.
Yeah, it was good.
And we were in our Halloween costumes, and
Yeah.
it was good.
Yeah, so then
And the server was nice.
Yeah, the
Sorry.
server was nice. But yeah, we headed to Mickey's Not So Scary around 4. We were lock, shock, and barrel. Nobody guessed it. Unless you guessed it and didn't
Oh.
comment it, nobody guessed it that I saw.
You guys blew up that reel though.
Yeah, so that was fun. But we did a cute little reel, like a little whatever TikTok, all the things. And then we went to Mickey's Not So Scary, and it was really fun.
Nobody knows that reel and TikTok only took us one take.
Yeah, it did. It did only take us one day. Not the Florida one though.
Oh my god, yeah.
So we went to Mickey's Not So Scary. It was really fun. We did all the regular Mickey's Not So Scary things. We did treat trails. We did a bunch of rides right when we got there, like before the actual party started. We obviously did treat trails. We ended up doing Tron. We ended up watching the parade twice. We actually we foregoed doing the fireworks and the show.
We didn't do the fireworks.
Yeah, we just chose not to. Like we were just
Yeah.
like we didn't do
I
them.
was too into the parade.
And like as we were learning, like Katelyn didn't really care for a nighttime fireworks show. Like that's was just like kind of like
Yeah.
the trajectory of the trip. It was kind of just like
'Cause
fireworks
you guys
show
usually
or
do them
rides.
all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're like fireworks show or rides, and most of the time you're like, let's just do rides, which honestly I don't care. I'm fine with. So
Mhm.
we didn't do the show or the fireworks, and then we just did more rides. We tried some of the like independent snacks that were there. Nothing crazy. But yeah, it was fun. All right. We didn't meet any characters though at the Halloween party. We were kind of humming and hawing if we would or not. We didn't end up.
You're wrong. I would arguably say we met Rapunzel and Flynn because they were like this close to us. We didn't actually. No, but we met Jack Sparrow.
Rapunzel and Flynn. Oh, in the parade.
During the parade.
Oh,
we basically did. No, but we met Jack Sparrow.
Oh, we did meet Jack Sparrow. Oh, you're right. You're right. I forgot because he literally.
I was
had
trying to flirt with him,
line.
and he wasn't really into it.
Yeah, he had nobody in line. Okay, so then the next morning, we did Hollywood Studios. So this was the day we wanted to rope drop Tower of Terror because that was the only. I think there was like 3 rides that they didn't do on the first day. So we rope dropped Tower of Terror. We actually rode it back to back. We rode it twice in a row, which was really fun. And then actually a really fun moment too is that because we rope dropped it, we literally were like second in line rope dropping it because everybody goes. Yeah, everybody goes to like Galaxy's Edge, Slinky, and then there was like a line of people getting ready to rope drop Rock and Roller Coaster, and then there was literally 2 people in front of us for Tower of Terror.
Wait,
yes.
Now that because I hadn't been on Rock and Roller Coaster, that's what people were rope dropping.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the line for the line beside us. That was Rock and Roller Coaster line.
Okay.
Yeah.
Live your truth.
So we did Tower and Terror twice, then got in line for Rock and Roller Coaster and didn't wait for Rock and Roller Coaster. Like literally got on right away. So I don't know why people rope drop Tower or Rock and Roller Coaster.
Well, they would have said the same thing about rope dropping Tower Terror.
Because Tower Terror is the best ride.
But Rock and Roller Coaster it seemed pretty dated. It hurt my neck, and I just don't really understand why we were rocking with the Aerosmith theme. Like, love it, but yeah, that was like one of the least enjoyable rides, I think.
Yeah,
to do that first thing in the morning to shake your brain like that.
I agree, but I mean, we also were dropping our cookies twice in a row on Tower of Terror, so
no, that was
like
so
you
fun,
said,
though.
like you could.
That's so true. Yeah, I guess
some people would be able to
enjoy
do that.
If you love that ride, good for you.
Yeah, but yeah, so we did that, and then we went and had breakfast at Ronto Roasters. Then we did. Actually, I will say I wanted to do Woody's Lunchbox, but there was no virtual. What's that called? Meal. What's that called? Mobile order. They had no mobile order times for breakfast for Woody's Lunchbox, so we ended up doing Ronto Roasters instead, which was good. Mm-hmm. And then we did the Beauty and the Beast stage show, and that was literally it for Hollywood Studios that day. It was pretty chill. Yeah, it was a pretty chill day, which honestly was really fun because the first half of the trip was go, go, go. So the second half of the trip, you will see much slower pace. Mm-hmm. Like we slowed it down a lot.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of pin trading,
a lot of shows,
and a lot of shows.
Yeah. But yeah, so then we skylinered over to Epcot for a virtual queue drop. So we wanted to get that second virtual queue, which we did. So we did a couple of the countries, got the virtual queue, and then we went back to our resort, hung out there for a bit. Austin and I did the pool. I think again you probably just hung out in the room.
Yeah.
And then we went back into Epcot, and this was the day that we did all of our food and wine items. So we don't have to talk about all of them, but maybe each of us can just share like our favorite from the food and wine booths. My favorite was the Impossible buffalo chicken fingers. They were so good. I couldn't believe how good they were. Couldn't believe it.
Couldn't tell you.
Okay.
You had like a...
I think that thing from the Mexico.
Oh, yeah.
That thing was really good.
Yeah.
I saw Alexis post about it. That she was like still thinking about this or whatever from when she was there.
Yeah.
And then we ended up getting it. It was really good. I don't remember exactly what it was though.
I think it was like a barbacoa taco or something. Barbacoa beef.
It was delicious. Whatever it was.
Or something. Yeah. Flautas.
I think it was a flauta. My favorite, I ate a lot of stuff at Food and Wine because I just wanted to try everything that was vegetarian. Sausage, good. Pickle seltzer, good. I was drunk after
Pickle
like a sip.
I did say one thing. So anyway.
Oh, yeah. No, but what was my favorite that you didn't like?
That was that spicy sausage.
Oh, I had samosas. No, you didn't like the samosas.
I didn't try the samosas.
You liked the samosa? No, I didn't take a photo. I'm like, there's something went wrong with the samosas.
I didn't like the Italian sauce. Not that I didn't like it. It just wasn't. It didn't like. It was like it's a spicy Italian sausage, and it wasn't spicy at all to me. And I was just like, whatever. It's meh.
No, every single vegetarian thing that I could eat in Epcot, I think I ate, and they were all good.
Yeah.
But not a fan of the pickle milkshake.
The pickle milkshake, I'm a pickle girl through and through. The pickle milkshake was weird, but I also don't usually like milkshakes. Just, I didn't enjoy it.
That's fair. So we literally just did all the food and wine booths, and then we did Guardians. We got September. And then
Every time.
Yeah, every time after this we
yeah.
also got September, but we got September. This was the first September. And then this was the evening of the like extra deluxe hours. And what we ended up doing was we went over and did Moana Journey of Water for the first time. Because they didn't do it the first day that they were in Epcot, and we got to do it obviously today. I freaking love that. We went through that 10 times, I think, total. It was so fun, so relaxing. I can see if you have kids to just let your kid wander through that for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, like just let them do whatever. Oh my gosh, it was so cute. And I just love the theming of it. It was so good. And then we ran over and we did Frozen because we hadn't done it yet. And then we left the park.
Yep.
Yeah, all my thoughts are for...
Okay, perfect. I just want to make sure I'm not like just speeding too far past.
No,
okay.
you're good.
So then we go to day 7. So this day we actually ended up buying multipass. So this was the second day that we did multipass.
Because we slept in.
We wanted to sleep in.
Right.
We the night before we had said, okay, what do we want to do? Do we want to get up early and rope drop, or because it would have been for Animal Kingdom? We said, or do we want to buy multipass? And we opted for multipass. So we did Primo Piatto for breakfast. We ordered it and then picked it up and brought it to the room this morning. I had the blueberry lemon pancakes. Wow, were they good? They were so freaking good. So good. I don't know if you guys remember what you had.
Yeah, I just had like eggs and toast, I think, like something pretty basic. It was good.
I think I had like the sandwich.
Yeah.
I should have tried your waffles.
The pancakes were insane.
Or pancakes.
So then we ended up getting into Animal Kingdom for 10 a.m. That is just like mind blowing to me that like we got in there for 10, but again, we were taking a chill the rest of the time. So we had a Festival of the Lion King, Lightning Lane, or multipass, whatever. That was like the first thing that we did. I would love to hear what your thoughts are on Festival of the Lion King.
I can talk about it. It was enjoyable.
Don't lie.
I didn't hate it. Like, I liked it. It was just definitely my least favorite show we saw. I liked all the other ones better.
She said that she liked the Beauty and the Beast live show
1,000%.
more than the Festival of the Lion King, which I feel like,
1,000%.
I'm not saying yes or no, that's a right or wrong opinion, obviously, because it's your opinion. However, I feel like in the Disney community, I feel like that is going to be shocking to a lot of people, because I just feel like people like put this at the level of like Broadway. And she said,
No.
oh no, the Beauty and the Beast was Broadway.
Absolutely. I stand by that 1,000%. If you asked me, to do any of them again, 1,000% I would do Beauty and the Beast. I don't need to see Festival of the Lion King again.
That's so funny. But yeah, so
congrats to all those cast members though.
We did Festival of the Lion King. And then this was kind of our redemption day for Animal Kingdom, because I was like, okay, we gotta try and get her to like this park. Okay, so today was the redemption day for Animal Kingdom. I was like, okay, we gotta get her to like this park, because this was like, she had said leaps and bounds behind the rest of the parks, which I kind of was anticipating, but I was like, I just want to make sure that we at least give it the benefit of the doubt that like I want to try and show off like how like it is fun. It is a nice
But
park.
Shout out to my girl Gracie, because I know that she worked there.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So then we did Everest, we did Dinosaur, and then we did Cali River Rapids, which we hadn't done on the first day. So we did all those, which were all really fun. Then we had lunch at Satuli, because I was like, okay, we got to redeem the food, because again, she like hadn't eaten the first time, and it was like not that she didn't like the breakfast from Yak and Yeti, but it was just very basic, like she said. So we were like, okay, let's do Satuli, because it's like the good meal. And
it was really, really good. Again, I don't want everyone to think I'm an Animal Kingdom hater. It is just my least favorite, but the Pandora of it all aside, like Pandora phenomenal, food phenomenal, park yay good.
Okay, and then we got back to our hotel, and I will very quickly go over. We had the coolest character interaction. So
that was in my answers.
Right when we got to Riviera. We had seen like that bus outside that's like the character bus, like, you know, that there's characters inside. So we were like, oh, that's fun. So we go inside and I went up, like, I don't really, like, no offense, I don't care about the characters. Like, I really don't. Like, if the characters are there, I'm not standing in line to go wait them, like wait and meet them. I don't really care. So we were like, oh, fun, Donald's here. And I think it was Pluto that was there too.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so we went up to the DVC booth because, of course, I had to look at the pins. So we were looking at the pins and Donald had come over to the DVC booth to where we were. And he was like, just like, you know, trying to interact with us. So we were like, oh, hi, Donald, like whatever. And he was just like the funniest little guy I have ever met. And like, it was just like, I was like beaming. Like, it was just the sweetest little interaction. He was so funny and cute. He was like playing around with us and like, he was like trying to sell us on DVC. And we were like, oh, we already bought it, buddy. And then he was like, oh, you guys put down some big money for that. Like, you know, they do all their hand gestures and whatever to try and communicate it to you. And it's just so funny. Like, he just did such a good job. It was such a fun experience. And like, there was one moment where like, he was like going through them and he was like, the cruise, he's like, don't do the cruise, like I get seasick. And I'm like, aren't you a sailor? And he goes, sailor, and he does like the like air quotes. And it was just like the funniest thing. And it was like, of course that characters don't talk, but like the way that he was interacting, it literally felt like he was talking to us. And I remember like you explaining it to Ash and Ash being like, I didn't know that they talked. And she's like, well, no, they don't. But like,
he was
it
so
feels
expressive.
Like,
that was really fun. He deserves a raise.
No, it was literally like the best character interaction I think I've ever had with like a non-face character, because I've had really good face character interactions. But no, it was really, really fun. So that was a sweet little moment that I had to throw in there, because I didn't mention that as like one of my favorites for that day. I remember that I didn't say it and I was like, oh, I should have, because that was a really fun moment. But yeah, so anyways, we went into Hollywood Studios for that evening, and then we literally just did like maybe 1 or 2 rides. I can't really remember, but then we watched Fantasmic that night, which was so fun because we watched the later showing of it. We got insanely good seats. We had drinks, like we like got like the little drinks before.
Oh, I got a
you
free
got your
glow cube because it was my birthday.
And then so fun. As we were walking down the steps to go to our seat, somebody had stopped Austin, because I think they maybe saw me and like I was passing and then saw you and then stopped Austin and was like, oh my gosh, hi. So anyways, we very, 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 very briefly were like, oh my gosh, hi, nice to meet you. And then like she had to go because she was going up, we were going down. Anyways, I didn't get her name. So if this is you listening or watching, please send me a message on Instagram, because I always want to try and like actually talk to everybody that I meet in person and get everybody's names so I can somewhat try and recollect everybody. And I didn't get your name. So can you please send me a message so that we can chit chat for a minute? Because that was so much fun. And like literally after we sat down, we were all beaming. We're like, that was so fun. I just love when people come up and say hi. So anyways, that was fun.
No, I wasn't a part of the interaction, but I was just like, wow, you guys are famous.
No, it was so sweet. Okay, yeah. So then the next day, we woke up and we almost missed Guardians virtual queue. We did not miss it. We got a late boarding group for it. So we almost missed the virtual queue. So we ended up rope dropping Epcot. We did Ratatouille. I again had a really chill day. Didn't really do a whole lot. We kind of just were like wandering Epcot. We just like did like the classic smaller rides. We did Moana again, which again is like just like a theme of this whole trip is just like Moana.
I think every time we walked past it, I was just like,
we did
pop
it.
in.
Yeah, we did it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then we had lunch at Connections. You kind of went on your own that time. You just like walked the World Showcase.
Oh yeah.
Well, we had lunch and then we ended up doing Guardians. It was like later because our boarding group was so late. And then we went and did Magic Kingdom in the evening, and we literally just did Country Bear Jamboree. And then we did Happily Ever After. And then we were done for that day. Mm-hmm. Isn't that crazy that that's what we did that day? But yeah. Oh, sorry. No, we had deluxe evening hours, and then we did a bunch of rides for deluxe evening hours. But
yeah, we definitely did Haunted Mansion.
Yeah, we did a bunch.
But before like park closed.
Yeah, it was literally just Country Bears Happily Ever After.
Yeah. But
Country Bears was so fun. I love the update.
I'll talk about it later.
Yeah, it was good. Okay, and then day number 9. So this was the day we canceled our Ohana breakfast reservation because we were like, you know what? Like, we're all kind of just taking it as like, we're eating smaller throughout the day. We're not really doing the big meals. We didn't really we canceled a couple other reservations, which I forgot to mention, but we did end up canceling like 2 other dinner reservations like later in the or earlier in the trip. So we did cancel this because we were also like, okay, we can meet Stitch in Magic Kingdom if we just line up for him. So that was the plan this morning. So we went right away off the bat to go meet Stitch in Magic Kingdom. That was a fun little interaction. And then
He was cute.
Yeah, he was cute. He was nice. I also forgot to mention this. So this Magic Kingdom morning, we did sleep in and we did miss the Tiana's virtual queue. Yeah. So the day before, it was a sleep in and we were a little bit late. No, this was a sleep in and miss. So that was unfortunate. But yeah, so we took a chill morning. We did Stitch. We did the cavalcade, watched the stage show. And then that was like it for the last day in Magic Kingdom.
Little parade.
Yeah, the cavalcade.
Okay.
Cavalcade.
Okay.
Yep.
I thought that was, we did the spinny room. Walt.
Carousel Progress.
Carousel Progress, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you guys both fell asleep.
Little nap
good
for us.
snooze
Yeah.
So then we went back to the room and then we went into Hollywood Studios for the night. This was a night where you did a little Star Wars photo shoot.
Oh. No, I did it with my lightsaber.
Sorry, the 2 of us. This was
this was
the 2
just
of
like
us.
girl, because you looked really cute.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah,
we did like a little girl time photo shoot. We did Toy Story, Midway Mania. You went and did Lightning McQueen Racers.
I'm glad I did that.
And then, because it's closed forever now. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Oh my God. The way that was actually Lightning McQueen was crazy.
Yeah,
I was into it. I was like the only person not accompanied by a child, but I ate it up.
But yeah, and then after that we met up and we watched Fantasmic again. And it was so good.
Beautiful farewell.
And then our last day was the departure day. So this was day 10 full days of Disney World. We went into Epcot. We missed the Guardians Lightning Lane or virtual queue, which really was a heartbreaker. We ended up going up to the cast members there and we were just like, is there any way that we can ride this?
She was not about that.
And she just said, I'm really sorry. Like, we can't do anything about it. And I said, that's fine. So we also couldn't buy Lightning Lanes because they were sold out. So we were like, well, dang it. So basically we just kind of did our own little thing. I think you ended up going and doing a couple things. We ended up going and doing like a couple different things. And then we just met back up at the hotel. I ended up going for a swim. And then we just hung out in that little library until it was time to go. I just had to walk around Epcot and kind of say bye by myself. But then when we met back up, we realized we all went and did the exact same thing. So one of us was just like right behind the other because we did like the same things in the same order, which is so funny. Yeah. So, but yeah, so it was a pretty chill thing, evening, day, whatever. Only thing I will say is that once we got to the airport, the flight was delayed. The flight was delayed by a couple hours, I think. So that kind of sucked because we ended up getting in very, very late to the airport and then very late to get home. But it was
because when we booked our flights, I think it was supposed to leave at something like 4 or 5 o'clock. So then we would have got home like in the evening. Yeah. But our flight didn't end up leaving until 10 p.m. or something p.m. Yeah. We didn't get home until late night. We didn't get home until like 2:30, I think, in the morning. Yeah. I got home at 4. Yeah. So we must have got here at 3. So we were 3. Yeah. So it was brutal, but it was fun. It was fun. Yes. It honestly worked out though, because the next day I had to go to a wedding that was like a couple hours away or longer. But I was still on like the lack of sleep, like Disney hours, like hustle during the day. So I was able to like manage. Yeah. But yeah. Nice. Well, that was the like itinerary and that was probably an hour and a half. So sorry that was so long, but here we are into the question and answer portion. Okay. So moving in. So what we did was I asked over on our Instagram, which if you don't know, it is Mic'd Up Magic Podcast on Instagram. I asked over on Instagram for you guys to ask us any questions that you had for us about our trip, for Katelyn about the trip, anything that you wanted to know. We got a lot of repeat questions. So what I did was I kind of like reworded them all so that they kind of meshed a little bit better. So I'm just going to ask all the questions and a lot of them are directed literally just for Katelyn. So we will kind of get through them. I will say quickly 2 caveats because these were asked and we already are planning on doing entire episodes to these points, but I will just quickly mention them.
First of all, we will do an entire episode about DVC. I promise. I promise. Also, with that, we will do an entire episode about Riviera as a whole, because again, a lot of people really wanted like in-depth information about the Riviera, and I would love to give you the in-depth information, but this podcast would literally be 5 hours long. So won't be talking about it in this episode, but we will be doing one, and I promise you we will be doing something all about DVC. I promise. Everybody asks every single time there's questions. I promise we will talk about it.
And we wanted to wait until we actually did a trip.
Yes.
So that was why until now, and then we just have to kind of work it in.
Yeah, we just got to film it, record it.
Yeah.
We'll film it though, I promise. So, Katelyn.
Thank you guys for making me feel like a celebrity.
Yeah. So this is just all your favorites, basically. Everybody wants to know. So I've thrown in one extra because I sent Katelyn a lot of these questions ahead of time so she could prepare. But I wanted to just add in also your favorite show. So we want to know your favorite park, your attraction, your snack, dining experience, and show.
Okay, so my notes are not organized like that, but that's totally fine. Okay, can you go one at a time?
What was your favorite park?
My favorite park was Epcot.
Can you rank the parks, actually?
I honestly can't explain why Epcot is my favorite. I just like literally felt it in my soul when I saw Spaceship Earth. Like, I will never forget how I felt when I saw Spaceship Earth. Epcot 1. Hollywood Studios, Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom. Nice. I think there's like different reasons to say all of them. I could convince myself any order probably. Yeah. But Animal Kingdom would always be last.
That's okay.
My favorite meal, Woody's Lunchbox.
Nice.
Was really, really good.
Wow.
What did you have?
I had
it was the vegan
tachos.
Nice.
And I drink occasionally. Okay, so I got the lemonade.
Yeah.
And it was really fun. And it was just like a really, really good vibe. Also, I don't remember what this is, but we got this in. I just put a photo in Magic Kingdom.
It's like a flatbread.
Beside, I think it was like right by Country Bears.
Oh, it was Pecos
Bill.
Oh yeah, and it was the premier night of this meal. We literally
we tried the meal on the first night. I forgot about that.
Yeah, they changed the menu and it was the first day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Yeah.
We should actually mention that because we've been Pecos Bill haters since they changed it.
We'll talk about it later. Like, we're going to do lots of updated like food things, so we'll get it then, but yeah.
I ate almost entirely vegan while we were there, the plant-based meals.
Well, yeah, you didn't eat vegan, you had the plant-based meals.
A lot of them were vegan.
But like the snacks and stuff, I mean, like you had chocolate, you weren't eating vegan.
Yeah, I ate entirely vegetarian or vegan, and every single thing was really, really good. I don't have a single complaint.
Yeah. All right, favorite attraction?
I didn't think about that one. Like ride?
Yeah.
Guardians.
Nice. Yeah. That
ride is the
Standard
definition of joy.
Yeah.
Or Spaceship Earth.
Nice.
Ooh.
I was gonna say because everybody says, like, I always say, like, with Guardians, it's like Guardians is the best attraction, but it's like
What's your
it's
favorite?
like, what's your favorite?
Yeah.
Spaceship Earth. I cried.
Yeah.
I went on it like 3 times.
Love that
every time.
Favorite snack?
Cronut.
Okay, love
are
it.
Really good.
Love it.
I didn't know that those were I didn't know that was going to be a thing. Like, I didn't know about them in the Disney World space.
Well, it's really just in our friend group space because Brandon just gets them every day. And like, that's just like his thing to get. So that we started getting
They're
them.
good, man.
They're also $9.
That didn't bother me. That didn't affect me at all.
Don't worry about it.
I didn't care about that.
Anyways, favorite dining experience? We didn't do a lot, but favorite dining experience?
It would be Crystal Palace.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But also, in comparison, the character breakfast at Topolino's, the way the characters move around in comparison to what they do at Crystal Palace. I don't know if I should like spoil it or say it. They do like a dance number. And that
well, they did one for Crystal Palace too, but it's
it was different though. Like the experience at Topolino's felt a little different.
Yeah.
And that was that was really fun.
It was definitely, even though it was a character meal, it was definitely more of like a fine dining still experience at Topolino's, which is what they do at night. They do like an actual fine dining at night, but you still got that a little bit in the breakfast, which was really nice. And then, what was your favorite show? And that could be like Country Bears or
Country Bears. It was Country Bears.
Okay.
I loved Country Bears. I didn't really know what people's thoughts were going into it. I kind of thought people didn't like Country Bears.
It's
from online discourse.
It's like a weird.
It has
like
like
a
its
weird
own like clique of people that.
I don't know what it was before, but I'll tell you right now, 5 stars.
It's good.
Put that on Broadway.
Okay, and then somebody wanted to know what everyone's favorite meal of the trip was.
Ooh, mine would probably be Topolino's.
Like experience and all. Experience plus food.
Yeah, like that steak and eggs was so good.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I would say mine would be as well. Would be Topolino's because it was so good. I loved it. Okay, Katelyn, what was your first impression on seeing each park icon?
Okay, I read that question. I was like, what does that mean? I know what it means now. Again, so Epcot, I have a spiritual, physical, emotional, mind, body, soul connection to Spaceship Earth and the Epcot ball.
Okay.
10 out of 10. The castle.
What was your reaction to it though? Was it literally just like you were just like
I was in awe. Like
Okay,
I had no idea about the sheer size of it. And then when I saw it at night too, and then because when we had a view of Spaceship Earth from our room, I was like, oh cool.
Yeah.
I really love it. But then after I met her and then we were in the hotel, I was like, oh, there's my baby girl. So love. The castle's stunning. Obviously, you've seen in the vlog cry when I walk onto Main Street, but that was just kind of like I am overwhelmed. I can't believe I'm here. That was awesome. The tree. Gorgeous. I'm a tree girl. I love trees. So I do love Animal Kingdom. I'm not an Animal Kingdom hater. The tree was beautiful. I honestly thought it was going to be bigger.
You know what's so funny? Because in the clip, I said, is it bigger than you expect? Or I said, is it smaller or bigger than you expected? And you said, I think bigger.
No, thinking about it and like looking at pictures, because I went through like all my pictures, it's smaller than I thought it was going to be.
That's funny.
And is it Tower of Terror?
Yeah, I would say Tower of Terror is like the icon now.
Yeah.
I knew exactly what it was going to look like. Like,
yeah.
It didn't like shock me in any way on the outside.
Okay, Katelyn, did anything surprise you about Disney, good and bad?
Okay. Country Bears. Phenomenal.
Okay.
Fantasmic. I didn't know what Fantasmic was. I think this is probably in the vlog. I thought it was going to be on the stage that the Beauty and the Beast show was on. So it was like way bigger than I expected. I didn't know there was water. I didn't know there was a mountain. Like I had no idea what it was going to be.
Yeah.
Rise. Had no idea what that was going to be either. That surprised me because especially the rides that we went on before were Star Tours and Smuggler's Run, which were just like well themed but not as fun for me.
Yeah.
Rise was so shocking and phenomenal. Like it was overwhelmingly cool.
Well, it's just crazy. Like from the first pre-show with Rey and BB-8, and then it's like you have that, and then you're on the ship, and then you're in the stormtrooper room, and then you get interrogated, and then like you're getting put in the rooms by the Imperial guys, and then you're getting interrogated by Kylo, and then you're on the ride. Like you're not even on the ride. So much goes on before you even get on the actual attraction. Like it's so.
So I am so thankful that you guys did wait for me to ride that one with you, because that one is just like such a cool one to experience for the first time. So yeah, that was fun.
The other note I had for surprising was how much I loved Epcot.
Oh yeah.
I thought I was going to be a Magic Kingdom girl.
Yeah. Anything bad like surprised you about Disney?
Like I have some of my like things that are overhyped, but that's
okay. Yeah, we'll get to that later then. Okay, and then when did you feel the most magic while at Disney? Was there like a moment?
Yeah, I have a few, obviously. So the Halloween parade,
Oh,
I had
nice.
already seen Magic Kingdom at night,
Yeah.
like briefly, but it felt like really extra special that night. The whole Halloween party in general, but specifically the parade. I could have cried the whole time. Meeting Chewie. When Chewie came up to me, because I had no intention of talking to him, and I didn't. I literally said nothing. But that was like really magical. Because Galaxy's Edge is so immersive. The most immersive experience I've ever had. Building my lightsaber, cried the whole time. Yeah, like just constantly was just crying the whole time. Magical moments being in the photo booths with you.
Ah, that's nice.
Yeah, that feels like just like in my brain forever. And Moana. I didn't really know what it was going to be. I knew Tafiti was there, but it was, again, like probably next to Galaxy's Edge, the other most immersive attraction or like area in general.
Yeah. Moana really does feel very like magical. Like the water, like I know it's all just like technology, but it's like it feels very like the way that the water moves and like how you can like pull the water up and like when you throw your hands up and the water goes up and like it really is a very fun experience.
I think it's partly due to the soundtrack too.
Oh yeah,
because like if you love that movie or even like it a little bit, like it's a really magical attraction. Like it's a must do. And I think at night as well.
Yeah,
it was beautiful during the day, but at night was really beautiful.
Yeah. And honestly, I feel like I've heard no bad things about that attraction.
Because I'm not like on Disney internet, I didn't know anything about it besides that a girl that I know like saw a preview of it, but yeah.
Okay, nice. What was the most surprising or unexpected thing about doing Disney as a first timer?
Oh, you worded that differently.
No, that's how it was asked.
Oh, well, say that. Most surprising?
Yeah, what was the most surprising or unexpected thing about doing Disney as a first timer? Like, were you surprised at like how long the days were? Were you surprised at how much you could plan? Were you surprised? Like, is there anything like as a first timer that you were surprised by?
In like that sense, no.
Okay.
I did have like unexpected moments. Is that a separate question? Because somebody was like, what's your favorite like unplanned moment?
Oh yeah, no, that's a different question.
Okay. Just like things I didn't expect that like happened. Or like the function of like a
I think it's more like the the functionality of a Disney trip. Because I know who asked this question, and she's like a frequent Disney planner tripper.
I don't know. Like I honestly knew, like especially going with you guys, especially you, like everything was pretty planned. I knew that they were going to be early mornings. I knew the nights were going to be late. The breaks were necessary.
I feel like I really mentally prepared her before going.
I wasn't nothing about like the flow of the days were surprising or like unexpected.
Good. Well, I'm glad, because then that just makes me feel better, because I feel like before we went I was really like, just so you know, like it's gonna be busy, it's going to be fast, it's going to be like we're getting up early. And it was good because it was like, this is kind of a little bit going on a tangent, but we really like the first like 4 days, the first day is trying to like get associated with the parks and like her seeing everything for the first time. It was very like go everything. We were like, we got to get this, whatever. Then once like the 50% mark hit, basically I just like gave it to Katelyn. I was like, what do you want to do? Like I could tell that she would rather a slower pace, just by a notch. Like it wasn't like you were like, I don't want to do anything, but it was just more like
more casual.
We wanted to sleep in. She wanted to just kind of walk around. She wanted to do more of those things, which was just like, you just pivot and you just do. That's why we canceled all of our dining reservations, because she does, not that you don't eat a lot, but you were eating in smaller increments throughout the day.
Constantly.
So it was just like, why would we waste money paying, $100 for a meal that like maybe she's not even going to eat the full thing?
Yeah, don't get it twisted. I was eating.
Yeah, no, but
it just was, like we weren't really, the way the trip was going down, to just like sit and spend like an hour or two just like eating one meal. I just wanted to try as many things as possible.
Yeah, so that's why it was like, I mean, sorry, again, this is like a weird tangent, but back to kind of pulling it back. It was just like, normally it's a very planned and structured trip, and we were trying to prep her for that, but it was enough where it was like, she also could say like, okay, I want to slow down. And we were just like, yeah, let's go. Let's cancel those reservations. Let's do a later start. Let's get multi-pass so that we can sleep in,
Yeah, function and itinerary were not surprising at all. I knew what we were in for.
Yeah, that's good. Okay. Okay, everybody. Oh wait, I'm gonna save that one for the end. Sorry. Did anything not live up to your expectations?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Okay. As Brandon's #1 fan, I wanted to like the cold brew so badly.
Joffrey's specifically.
The first Joffrey's cold brew I had, I was like, needed this, but it was that Animal Kingdom morning. So I thought that was the best coffee I'd ever had.
Yeah.
I tried to get it a few more times. Weird aftertaste.
Mhm.
Didn't prefer it. And I wanted to love it.
To be fair, though, you didn't get it the same way that he gets it.
Yeah.
But it was
So-
just like the taste of cold brew
But
in
I
general.
There you
agree.
go.
I agree with what Caitlin's saying. I still like Joffrey's. However, I do know that there is a weird aftertaste to Joffrey's coffee.
Yeah, don't get it twisted. I went every day.
Yeah, it is. And I don't think it's a coffee. I think it's whatever flavoring they use.
But I got a plain one too.
just a black coffee.
Just with milk. Like no syrup.
I don't know.
Anyway, whatever. Sorry.
That's fine.
Overhyped. Lion King show.
That's so funny. That's so funny. I can't wait to people please leave your comments down below on that.
Yeah,
Because I
roaster.
really do want to
Yeah.
see what your opinions are.
I want
on
lots
her.
of comments.
Because when she said that, I was floored. I was like, really?
Yeah, I thought she was mad at me.
Not that I love the show, but I was just like, I've never heard somebody be like, that was mid.
I that's exactly what I said. I said
It's
it was
like,
mid, and
what?
I'd say it again. Overhyped. Okay, one of the things I was most excited for from watching the vlogs and following all of your guys' friends on like Instagram, I wanted to have keychains at the wazoo hanging off my bag. I wanted to have the popcorn bucket. I was excited to have my Owala. And it was so annoying carrying all that shit around. Like, I really wanted to be a part of the club, but I was just like, I gotta lug this around every single day on every single ride. And yeah.
That is so funny that you say that.
This is why I don't wear a backpack anymore.
A
It's
backpack
annoying.
is crazy.
This is so funny.
A backpack is crazy.
That's so funny.
The other thing, this, I wouldn't say overhyped, but I was just kind of disappointed because I had experience with it at Disneyland Paris, but I found Small World disappointing.
That's fair.
Anita said she thinks it's creepy, and at Disney World, I agree. In Paris, it was glamorous.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Everybody would like to, bring it into everyone here.
Mm-hmm.
What was everyone's best part about staying at the Riviera? We won't go crazy because, again, we're going to do a whole episode, but I did want to just include this.
I think I wrote the food. Oh, yeah, the food. And obviously, like, the room. It was nice to have, like, so much room, and it was beautiful, but the food was the best part.
I'm 50-50 on the food or just the Skyliner.
I've never
Because-
had other experiences.
Yeah, because obviously Pop is just as good with the Skyliner and whatever, but the food really was like, I couldn't believe how in love with the food I was, and I'm a foodie, but it really was really good at Riviera.
I think Skyliner is kind of just a given. I don't want to use that one because we always talk about it, but something different I think is just like the footprint of the resort.
Yeah.
It's so nice how small it is and how like it's just like the big tower and it's so easy to get to the lobby or the Skyliner or the pool or the quick service. Like it's so fast. It just saves like so much time and like energy. Sometimes when you get up in the morning and you're like, oh my God, if you're at a big resort, like I gotta walk all the way over here.
Because one thing Katelyn doesn't know is, or maybe not that you're fully aware of, but it's like a lot of Disney resorts are very spread out.
Yeah, just from seeing them, like, I could tell.
Like Riviera is really one of the only ones that's like just a building. So yeah.
No, but talking about speed and ease, the elevator,
Oh my gosh, yeah.
that's the fastest elevator I've ever been in my life,
Other than Tower of Terror.
other than Tower of Terror.
Yeah, no, it's a very fast elevator. I remember when we did our tour and Dylan took us up in the elevator, I was like, whoa, that was quick. And he's like, it is a very fast elevator. I'm like, yeah. But it's funny for you because Katelyn lives in an apartment. And I remember
I
when
got
we came
home
over.
and I was just like, oh my God, this elevator's so slow.
Yeah, it's so funny. Nice. Okay, best pin trade of the trip. I don't know if either one of you can comment on this, but I feel like this is more of a me question. But I had talked about this in the pins that we traded on our trip. But I had two. One was we found the supporting cast pin for the Star Wars like set or whatever. Found that on a pin board. That was crazy. And then also this cute little Stitch Paris pin that Katelyn already has from Paris. We found it on the board and I was in love with it and I'm so glad I found it. Okay, if you could go back and change one thing about the trip, what would you change? We can each change one thing.
One thing?
Yeah. Frick, was there more that you could change?
I have two funny things and one.
Okay.
Can I just say? I'm gonna say them all.
Say them.
My actual thing is I wish we went to Universal. I wish we spent time at Universal just for a first trip and like with my interests. If we did do it again, I would spend like the last couple of days going to Universal.
Interesting. Okay.
I wish we rode Tiana's at night.
Mm.
That's just like next time. And why is the Winnie the Pooh ride so scary?
Mm. Well, that's something we could change.
Change something about the park in general.
Yeah. I will say for the Universal bit, like if we're going back and you're going to Universal, you need to call Evan. Like if you want to do Universal, you need to talk to Evan because we're not Universal people. That's why that wasn't even on my radar. Well, it wasn't even on my radar that you would want to go to Universal. Just because like we're not really Universal people, but yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would have changed.
It's an extra, like the main reason is because you're spending an extra $5,000 to go to Universal for like 2 days.
That's crazy.
Yes.
5,000?
Yes. Yes, for tickets, for food, for transportation, for merch.
$5,000 for 2 days.
For two people for 2 days, yes.
No.
Yes, we've looked into it.
It said the bus is like 15 minutes.
We've looked into it. Go look it up.
I don't know.
When we went on our honeymoon, we spent $3,000 for 1 day.
No, we didn't.
Well, how much shit did you buy?
Not a lot.
It wasn't 3,000.
Yes.
We didn't even stay there.
I know we didn't. For a day of park tickets, go look it up. Go look it up. You will be floored.
We can do this off camera.
This is why we never do Universal because it's so much more expensive.
It's not that expensive.
Because if you're staying for a long period of time.
Okay, 1 day. Just a visit.
But that's what I'm saying. For 1 day, it's more expensive than staying for a long period of time because they want you to stay longer. So as you stay longer, your tickets get cheaper. But if you're only staying for 1 or 2 days, it's like $500 a ticket.
It's not $500 a ticket.
Look it up.
It's not $500 for one ticket.
I don't know what to tell you.
Anyways.
What would you change, Oz?
I don't know.
The one thing that I would change in this, again, it's just like a personal.
Animal Kingdom.
Change what? Just better morning?
I didn't go there.
Yeah, we didn't do Animal Kingdom the way we would have wanted to.
Yeah.
We didn't even get to go to like Rafiki's Planet Watch, which is like a whole other area of Animal Kingdom. We like kind of were just like getting through the day and then we would just leave. It would be like, we're done our ride. Okay, let's go. Like, that's kind of more what it was. My thing was that I wouldn't have canceled the dining reservations, but that's just me. That's a me thing. Like I like doing the reservations. I like doing dining. Like that's the one thing I would have changed.
I definitely would have enjoyed them, but yeah, it was just like the way we were flowing, it didn't really make sense.
Yeah, and again, it's like I didn't want to see you spend $100 for a meal where you're eating half of it and it's literally a salad. You know what I mean? It's like, oh God. So anyways, those would be the things that I would change. Okay, best purchase of the trip. Sorry.
You go.
Mine would be my Riviera robe.
You?
Probably my Ewok.
Oh, I was thinking your Magic Band.
Probably my Ewok guy.
Nice.
Mine's my Winnie the Pooh.
Nice.
Cuddles. We both got like the Cuddles plushes. And mine's a big hit in my apartment. Shout out Ash. Also, best purchase, popcorn buckets. So worth it.
Yeah, popcorn buckets are great.
But again, it's not fun to carry around.
Okay, Katelyn, how was Walt Disney World compared to Disneyland Paris?
Yeah, so obviously Disneyland Paris is a lot smaller. So it was a lot more kind of my pace. Like you could just wander without really planning. Again, I know if you didn't plan, we wouldn't have got to do everything. but you don't really need to do that if you go to Paris. Like if you're going for more than like 3 days, you definitely don't need to plan. Small World, I've already mentioned, is better at Disneyland Paris, like 20 times better. I also preferred Pirates at Disneyland Paris. It was a bit longer and there's a bit more going on, but it was very similar.
Nice.
And I think Toy Story Land is better at Disney World. It's well themed in Paris, but I think the rides at Disney World were better. Those were like things that were exactly the same that I could truly compare.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, is Kate... Oh, no. Sorry. Okay, did you have any magical moments? So magical moments, I know you, like, do you know what they are?
Not by definition, no.
So magical moments are basically like when like a cast member would go like above and beyond to do something for you. So for example, like my favorite magical moment that we had was when that cast member at the Halloween party let us go up top of like the bus and take pictures with the Not So Scary bus. Like that was a magical moment because she's not going to do that for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like a fun moment I feel like we were given.
That was super cute. I'm trying to think of, the glow cube.
That would have been one.
That was one. Am I allowed to say Chewy?
That's just not like a character interaction. Yeah.
I don't know. Like, obviously they were just all so nice to me and saying happy birthday to me. Like every time a cast member said happy birthday to me, it was magical.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any else?
Probably the bus at the Halloween party.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
That was like also an exciting start to the night because again I had no idea what we were in for and then she let us go in the bus.
Yeah, that was fun. Okay, thoughts on meeting characters or like character interactions?
Okay, my thoughts on character interactions. The characters, I think it's funny to meet them. I think it's awkward, but like I was grinning ear to ear every time. Like I think they're super cute. I only met face characters that were villains, and I love the villains because I love that they can be a little mean and like a little sassy. The evil queen gave me some attitude, and that was funny. And I didn't talk to Gaston, but he was pretty entrancing. I was content only talking to like the characters and the villains. I didn't feel like I needed to meet like a princess because I would feel awkward, I think.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Like face character in general, I feel like are just awkward to me. Like when we met Jack, it was very much like, geez, okay, I'm leaving. Like I was just like, I'm not interested at all. But I don't know why. I just feel that way. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's valid.
But I feel like all the characters we met this trip, I enjoyed every single character interaction. So I don't hate them. Everybody thinks I hate them. They're just awkward. Like it's not the top of my choice to go line up to meet people.
Was your favorite character interaction Donald?
Probably Donald. And then from there, it would have been Piglet.
Me too.
At
Mine's
Crystal
Piglet.
Palace. And then Daisy at Topolino's.
She was so cute.
Yeah.
She was flirting with Austin too.
Yeah, she was so sweet.
Yeah, mine's probably Piglet. Stitch licked my cheek, which was so cute.
Okay, best unplanned or unexpected moment from the trip.
So Donald in the lobby was like very funny. But we've already talked about that. I would say going to Club Cool with Austin. I didn't know anything about it and we just like walked by and popped in and it was so funny and we just had like a really silly time in there. And my other one is after we saw Fantasmic for my first time and we were like popping in the shop and then Katelyn and I both bought Sorcerer Mickey. That was like, we didn't plan that and that was like super fun, good bonding, silly love time.
Yeah, that was funny. It was so cute. It was like we both were like, we're gonna get one, and then we like took pictures with Sorcerer Mickey and we had him on the Skyliner and it was so cute. It was so fun. Okay, sweet. So last questions. These are the burning questions that everybody had. So I'm gonna ask us something. You can keep quiet and then I'll come to you. Okay. So everybody wants to know, have we converted Katelyn into a full-blown Disney adult? Do we feel like we did? She doesn't answer right now. I don't want her opinion. What do you think?
Yeah, like, no.
I don't think so either. I think we laid everything out in front of her well. I feel like we showed her everything. We showed her all the aspects of it. I don't think that she's going to be one to want to go every year like, you know, all of us do. I feel like she'll want to go every few years or every once in a while. And she loves Disney just generally, like already, like you like Disney movies, you know, you like the stuff. But I don't think she's a full-blown Disney adult. Austin doesn't think so either. So
No.
Katelyn, do you think you are now a Disney adult, and would you want to go back to Walt Disney World?
I'll definitely go back. I'm excited to go back and bring and go with my friends too, now that I know what's up and I know what they would like, because they're all pretty low-key Disney fans. I've always been a low-key Disney adult, but like I said, like halfway through the trip, I'm not buying DVC. I don't want to go every year. Like, I want to cherish it a little more than that. And I have way too many hobbies and interests to make this my full-time job.
Well, it's not our job. It's just
but it is
our life.
Yeah. No, it was like you set me up to make this decision, and all things considered, I'm gonna stay the lowest ranked Disney adult in the room.
Well, it was so funny because I think after day 1 or day 2, you basically said, you're like, yeah, I can never be a Disney vlogger.
Oh yeah, God no.
So at that point I was like, yeah, it's too much for her, which is fine. Like, it's not, trust me, it's not for the faint of heart. Like, it is a lot if you're going hard, but you can take it as slow as we did. So
yeah, it was also like not a lot of pressure, but just like it was an overwhelming experience because I've wanted to go since I found out my brother went when I wasn't born yet. So I needed to like really sit with it for a couple weeks when we got home before I was even able to really like talk about it like this, because it was just like such an overwhelming experience, but it was beautiful.
yeah, no, that's good. I'm glad.
Mm-hmm. So no, but yes, but no.
She loves Disney, but she's not going every year. She's not starting a channel.
And I'm not trading pins. I'm so sorry.
But you loved collecting pins.
Yeah,
on
I
the
know.
trip.
I bought like 12, but
Yeah. It was fun. Is there anything else that you had written down that you wanted to talk about before we end?
besides my overall favorite moments, lived up to the hype. Veggie sausage.
Nice.
Underhyped Beauty and the Beast show.
Did I not ask underhyped and
No.
overhyped? Oh, so sorry.
And exceeded the hype, the Halloween party, and
Nice.
the Epcot ball.
Nice.
And lived up to the hype was the specific character interactions that we knew we were going to have,
Nice.
which was like Winnie the Pooh and friends.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just
Sweet.
have my favorites.
Yeah.
No.
Send them.
Oh, okay. I've already talked about the lightsaber and the Halloween party. Honestly, the Disney Springs first travel day, I was like, oh my God, we're here and we're like spending time together. And that was like really sweet. And that was like, wow, I can't believe this. So that was honestly a highlight for me, like before we even got into the park. It's tough to be a bug.
Love it.
That was so unexpected, but it was funny.
So sad that that's going away.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad I got to do it. Guardians, I'm more of like I'm a Spider-Man girl. I've seen Guardians, not obsessed. That's the best ride I've ever been on, like anywhere in my entire life. And the feeling when that song comes on is crazy. And then I got to join the picture club with the mirror at the bottom of the stairs. Lastly, just the day that was just me and Austin, that was the most time we've ever spent together in our lives. There was one day when I was like 14 that Austin took me to the zoo in Pittsburgh.
Yep.
That was the first and only thing we've ever done, like just us. like really.
It's like an adventure.
Mm-hmm. So
without your parents too.
Yeah. And like we don't do that on day to day. It's always the three of us, if anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the day I just spent with Austin was just like core memory.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's so sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I just love that about the whole trip because exactly, it's like whenever we're all together, it's really like not always with like adults, like not adults, like our parents,
Adults.
but it's not all like obviously we do things together,
Mm-hmm.
and like, but I feel like when all of us hang out, it's more so like
Mm-hmm.
a family function.
Something I did want to shout out is also like a magical moment, not like by definition, but
Yeah.
we had like one sleepover a month for the past year.
Yeah.
And that was just like really fun, exciting bonding time. Like it was excited to be excited for the trip.
Yeah. Well, that's what I kind of wanted to do. Like I was like, I really want to like, you know, that's part
Appetizer.
of the best part of a Disney trip, in my opinion, is like the anticipation and like planning of a Disney trip. So I wanted Katelyn to really experience that. So I was like, okay, we got to do planning times. We got to watch movies. We got to do the sleepovers, and they won't end if you don't want them to. Like you can still come over and have sleepovers.
And we just stop hanging out.
Yeah.
I'm like, thanks for the trip. I'm done.
Cut
the cameras.
It was so fun. No, it was good. Well, I'm glad you had a good trip overall. I feel like there was, you know, ups, not necessarily downs, but there's little like, you know, bumpy patches throughout the road, but I feel like it was a good trip overall, and I'm glad you enjoyed yourself.
Oh yeah.
Thank you guys for bringing me and caring about me and loving me and making that my special birthday quarter of a century.
Like that's a crazy birthday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I need to find someone that can top that.
Yeah. Yeah. We brought her so that no low life boy can just try and no, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that is the episode. This was a long one, but it was much needed because how do you talk about a Disney trip in like 2 minutes? So we hope you guys enjoyed. Please let us know what you thought of the episode. If you are watching on YouTube, you can comment down below. If you are listening on the podcast apps, you can send us some DMs on Instagram. We are at Magically Katelyn and at Magically Aussie, or at Mic'd Up Magic Podcast, all on Instagram. If you only listen to this podcast and you want to watch it, you can go watch it on Magically Katelyn on YouTube. And yeah, give us a rating over on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You can give the video on YouTube a thumbs up. I think I have covered all of my bases. But yeah, we are going to wrap it up here.
My mom's downstairs cooking Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Canadian Thanksgiving.
Yeah. But yeah, so we're going to wrap it up here. We hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you in the next one.
Well, I won't.
Bye.
Bye. Love ya. Bye.